J.K. Sorry, let me do that again. I said it okay that one time. Okay.
So, we are pigs. Pigs in the blanket, yeah? 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 So, this is funny then, yeah?
Hey, it's #1 best-selling author and motivational speaker Erik Qualman. Most of you know me as Equalman. Thank you for joining us for today's 7 super tips. Today we have one of my favorite authors of all time. She's so inspirational. It's Harry Potter's J.K. Rowling. Or for all you Brits out there, J.K. Rowling. For all you Equalmaniacs out there, this will be a fun exercise. Go online and take the quiz of which house you are in at Hogwarts. I am Gryffindor! So without further ado, 10 points Gryffindor, here is J.K. Rowling.
Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that failure is fun. That period of my life was a dark one, and I had no idea that there was going to be what the press has since represented as a kind of fairy tale resolution. I had no idea then how far the tunnel extended, and for a long time, any light at the end of it was a hope rather than a reality. So why do I talk about the benefits of failure? Simply because failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was, and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me. Had I really succeeded at anything else, I might never have found the determination to succeed in the one arena where I believed I truly belonged. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized, and I was still alive, and I still had a daughter whom I adored, and I had an old typewriter and a big idea. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. Failure gave me an inner security that I had never attained by passing examinations. Failure taught me things about myself that I could have learned no other way. I discovered that I had a strong will and more discipline than I had suspected. I also found out that I had friends whose value was truly above the price of rubies. The knowledge that you have emerged wiser and stronger from setbacks means that you are, ever after, secure in your ability to survive. You will never truly know yourself or the strength of your relationships until both have been tested by adversity. Such knowledge is a true gift, for all that it is painfully won, and it has been worth more than any qualification I ever earned. There's always trepidation. I mean, I think that people might be surprised to know that I felt trepidation every time I produced a Potter book. You know, the weight of expectation there was I won't say crushing, it was extraordinary and wonderful to have that weight of expectation.
You were
but
competing
at times,
with yourself.
Yeah, and with the expectations, latterly, of millions of fans, all of whom were very invested in the story and wanted to see what they wanted to see. And I knew where I was going, and I had to put on mental blinkers a lot and just think, I know where I'm going, I must not be influenced by this. And obviously I came from a place where I was a single mother, and it really was hand to mouth at one point. It was as literally as poor as you can get in Britain without being homeless at one point. If you've ever been there, you will never, ever take for granted that you don't need to worry. And I feel, I don't want to get complacent, I don't want to take things for granted.
Correct.
I just, and after all, well, do you know what? I'm talking absolute rubbish, aren't I? I'm talking rubbish. I mean, I really would have to be very stupid. But, yeah, I do still worry. So, given a time turner, I would tell my 21-year-old self that personal happiness lies in knowing that life is not a checklist of acquisition or achievement. Your qualifications, your CV, are not your life, though you will meet many people of my age and older who confuse the two. Life is difficult, and complicated and beyond anyone's total control. And the humility to know that will enable you to survive its vicissitudes. It is one of the amazing and wonderful things about literature, as about film and music, is it's utterly subjective. So
it's somebody's
that's
opinion.
the point of it, you know, that's the point. Of course, you move in that world, if you expect to just stand under a shower of perpetual praise, there's something wrong with you.
Exactly right.
That, you know, you will get criticism. I knew that going in, and the funny thing is, I'm not a particularly, I was never a very confident person. In there are areas in my life in which I'm very thin-skinned. But not in this area. In this area, I think it's right and proper. I should be criticised, and that's
And can
literature.
you learn from it?
Yeah, sometimes, absolutely. It depends. I mean, there have been reviews that I've thought, yeah, that's fair comment, and I need to take that on board.
Oh, really?
But I do remember one day, writing Philosopher's Stone, I was walking away from the cafe where I'd been working, and I had this moment where I suddenly thought, it was like another voice speaking to me, and the voice said, the difficult thing's going to be to get published. If it's published, it will be huge. Well, the thing is, you've got to believe, haven't you?
Yes.
You know, I was not the world's most secure person. I wasn't someone with an enormous amount of... In fact, I'd say I was someone with not much self-belief at all. And yet in this one thing in my life, I believed. That was the one thing in my life. I felt I can tell a story. I have learnt to value imagination in a much broader sense. Imagination is not only the uniquely human capacity to envision that which is not, and therefore the fount of all invention and innovation. In its arguably most transformative and revelatory capacity, it is the power that enables us to empathise with humans whose experiences we have never shared. I think the willfully unimaginative see more monsters. They are often more afraid. What is more, those who choose not to empathise enable real monsters, for without ever committing an act of outright evil ourselves, we collude with it through our own apathy. One of the many things I learned at the end of that classics corridor down which I ventured at the age of 18 in search of something I could not then define was this, written by the Greek author Plutarch. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. That is an astonishing statement, and yet proven 1,000 times every day of our lives. It expresses in part our inescapable connection with the outside world, the fact that we touch other people's lives simply by existing.
That's it for today's 7 Super Tips with Harry Potter's J.K. Rowling. Thank you for watching today's episode. You're probably wondering, how did I get this amazing t-shirt? Well, you can have one too. If you want to get one of these t-shirts, submit your question below or submit it on Instagram. I'm Equalman across the board. Just submit your question. If we use your question on any of our shows or podcasts, you will receive a t-shirt. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe below so you don't miss the next one. And remember, until next time, it's not what we take from the world, it's what we leave behind. Funny line, if there is any. Gryffindor, 10 points. 10 points, Gryffindor. Or for those with the British accent, that's a German accent. That's still.
That's like Irish, right?
No, it's more German. Just answer the question. That's another story. I gotta tell you guys that story.
Okay, but let's...
We're tight on time. No one likes to have fun here. Okay, so here we go. No. I just know we're finished acting like it. Okay, are you rolling?
Yes.
We're rolling. Okay. Can I say equal maniacs or not yet?
I think so.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here we go.